We got industry reaction out of that CMHC condo owners survey. Lamb Development's president and CEO Brad Lamb joins us now. Good to have you with us.
Thanks.
Well, we didn't really get out of the CMHC anything about the foreign ownership component, which is not much of a surprise. This isn't what they were going for. But what interested me was that of those who own more than one condo, half of them say that they've got family living in it. The other half is most likely rental income. What are you seeing in your market?
Well, first of all, the condominium market is incredibly stable. There's not a lot of product for sale, and what does come up for sale sells within about 20 or 25 days. But with that survey, if they could dig deep into it and get into it, what I'm seeing through my companies is that there are really two sources. The first is parents buying for children. So parent might keep it in their name and either rent it to their children or let them live there for free. And if they rent to their children, that might not be showing up in any way of income directly as a declared income. Mm-hmm. And the secondary item is foreign students. There's a huge number of young foreign people going to school in Canada, and parents are buying multiple units, and their children are living in them.
So with that said and done, what does that tell you about the stability of the market? You know, the part of the CMHC survey concluded that 60% plan to own that condo for 5 years or more. But there is about 10% that said, no, we'll be out within 2 years. What does that mean for a condo market?
Well, most of there's about 20,000 new condos sold a year, and about 60 to 70% are bought by investors. These are condos sold before they're built. And most people who buy early get an opportunity to buy well below current pricing, certainly well below future pricing. So there's an expectation and almost a guarantee that if you want that buyer to come back and buy again, that they're going to make some money. So it's kind of like when you do a stock offering, the first early guys who buy in the stock offering and then sell later make a nice profit. It's the same thing in the condo business. So there is an expectation among investors that they'll make a capital gain, but most investors are long-term investors. And in the condo business, that's 5 years or more.
I see here 60% think their unit will appreciate in value, 35% expect no change, 5 figure it will decline. It sounds like those are people who not only are long-term buy and hold type of investors, but also that they most likely are buying new units. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, if you look at the stats right now if you look at resales, which are units that are finished, there are 15%. There's 15% less resales in the market, in the condo market this year versus last year, and there's 35% less rentals. So we actually have a problem now. We should be building more condominiums because there's not enough condominiums to satisfy the rental market. The rental market is extraordinarily tight in Toronto for condominiums, and we can't build enough apartments to satisfy the future need for apartments in the city.
I can imagine the land issue is one of the big issues. Like, we're not making more of it. So are you having a difficult time actually getting the necessary soil so that you can build up?
Yeah, it's a huge problem for us now in Toronto. The only development lots that are left in the city are either existing buildings on the lot, maybe a 10-story building you have to demolish and start again, and that's difficult to do. It's difficult from a planning rationale. It's difficult from the standpoint of the cost of the land, because you're paying for an income property rather than a vacant piece of land. And the other issue is its assemblies, which are very risky, because if you're buying 8 properties in a row and you get the middle one, it could take you 10 years to get them all.
Right. And
each one gets more expensive as you go. So condo prices just from land alone are up a good $20 or $30 a square foot in the last couple of years. Land prices are now for a basic property downtown $100 a square foot for density. 2001 it was $15 to $20.
Let's come full circle back to the foreign ownership issue. How much of it is that a concern to someone such as yourself who's in the development business?
Well, my company restricts the number of obvious foreign investors.
Why?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure the source of their money. I'm not sure that they'll be there on the day of closing if things get tough. And, we're not going to have great times in the real estate industry forever. So I want to make sure that we have an ability to pursue a purchaser to make them close, because it's a contract between myself, my company, and them. And it's it's hard to pursue someone in Pakistan, China, or Iran, or wherever an investor may come from, England. So we restrict that. We don't typically sell to foreign investors. But foreign investors are a huge part of our real estate industry. The new condominium market that sees 20,000 properties sold a year, I would not be surprised if 5,000 to 7,000 of those units in the city were foreign bought through a surrogate of some kind.
You said that basically the market can't go up forever. What do you see as evidence that the worm has turned, as the case may be? What are you looking for to show that?
Well, first of all, the worm hasn't turned. Unfortunately for people looking to buy homes, Toronto's going to get far more expensive before it gets cheaper. The issue is we're not going to see a softening in prices until we see a real softening in the economy, and I just don't see that in the horizon. So I think people are looking at 10% increases in detached semis and 5% increases a year in the condo market for the foreseeable future.
Brad, good to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brad Lamb is the president and CEO of Lamb Developments. Still ahead, the Vancouver housing market thwarts Ottawa's attempt to cool yet again. Sales hit a record. We'll dig into that when we come back.